This is chapter 30 of the book titled God's Gift to Women by Michael Baisden. The view from the 25th floor was still as awesome as it had been the first time I saw it back in September. During the commercial break, I stared out of the oversized windows onto the 610 freeway watching the cars as they zoomed by. In the distance, I could see the flashing lights of a state trooper's cruiser as he pulled over a shiny red Corvette. I could just imagine how pissed off the driver must have been to be getting pulled over at 2 o'clock in the morning. I guess that cop had his donuts to go. I laughed. It was one of the few times I smiled during the entire month of October. Although the radio show was #1 in Houston, I wasn't happy. Every night I stared at the studio phone, hoping Terry would call to recite another erotic poem. But a month had passed since we fell out, and still there was no call. I knew it was time to resign myself to the fact that she never would. As I prepared to go back on the air, I took a deep breath and inhaled the aroma of the jasmine-scented candles to refocus. Miss gave me the 10-second countdown from the control room and then faded back into the show with Masquerade by George Benson. It was the perfect song for Halloween night. Welcome back to Love, Lust, and Lies, I said smoothly into the microphone. It's Halloween night and we're talking about people who hide behind masks. Or, as Chris Rock would say, you don't really meet the true person, you meet their representative. Let's take one final caller before we wrap it up. Gloria from 3rd Ward, what's your question or comment? My question is, how can a woman ever know who a man truly is? Men are always putting on facades, especially at the nightclubs. Give me an example. Okay, I met this gentleman at Maxwell's nightclub. He was very attractive, well-groomed, and had good conversation. When I asked him if he was married or had kids, he said no. Then he went on to tell me about a successful cleaning business he owned. Well, the following weekend, we're driving down Richmond Avenue in his Navigator, and out of nowhere, this woman pulls up next to us with 2 kids in the back of her car screaming at the top of her voice. She sideswiped us a couple times, then cut us off in the middle of the street. Don't tell me it was his wife. Oh no, it's much better than that. It was one of his 3 baby mamas. Turned out the car he was driving was hers. She cursed him out so bad, I almost felt sorry for him. What about his cleaning business? Don't tell me that was a front too. Child, please. 2 days before that incident, I talked my boss into hiring him to clean our office building. Can you believe this clown shows up with a wet vac from Sears, 3 plastic buckets, and 2 Mexicans? I was so embarrassed, I took 2 weeks vacation just to avoid my coworkers. It's obvious that he was a real buster, I said. But what about the good men out there who are misjudged? Mitch's head sprung up from the control board. He knew I was about to vent. What do you mean? Gloria asked. I'm saying that sometimes women have a tendency to jump to conclusions without all the facts. For example, I have a friend whose girlfriend saw a woman get into his car. Should that affect her trust? Not necessarily. And let's say that the next day, that man has a hickey on his body, maybe on his neck. Does that make him a cheater? Hold on a second, Julian. Your friend needs to put the shoe on the other foot, she said wisely. If his woman came home with a mark on her neck, back, ass, whatever, he'd drop her in a split second, Gloria asserted. And besides, what kind of explanation could he possibly have? That his neck accidentally fell against her mouth while she was sucking? Give me a break. But what if nothing? She cut me off. Now I listen to you give advice 5 days a week, and to your credit, it's pretty good, she said. Now take some advice from a 50-year-old veteran. Perception is reality. If a man puts the wrong perception out there for his woman to see, then he must deal with the reality of the consequences. I had to pause for a second to let that marinate. She broke me down and read me like a Dr. Seuss book. Even if I wanted to play it off, I couldn't. You're right, I sighed. Thanks for the honest insight, veteran. Anytime, Mr. Payne, she said graciously. And I hope everything works out for your friend. Sounds to me like he got a little drama in his life. Don't we all? Mitch was frantically waving his hands. When I checked the clock on the console, I realized why. It read 2:02. That's it for me tonight, Houston. Thanks for allowing me into your homes, your hearts, and your minds. Peace. Mitch hurried out of the control room and into the studio. He switched on the lights and came over to where I was sitting. What the hell is wrong with you? He said while getting in my face. You know better than to air out your personal issues on the air. Whatever. Whatever? Is that all you have to say? Back up off me, man. I stood up and stepped towards him. You work for me, not the other way around, remember? Boy, if I was 10 years younger, I'd wipe the floor with your sorry ass. He put his hand in my face. Now, I know you're hurting over this thing with Terry, but don't you ever allow it to affect our show. That's right. I said our show because I helped put this together. When the day comes that you forget that, it will be the day you can do this by your damn self. As he turned to walk away, he knocked over the wobbly cart rack. Hundreds of tapes scattered onto the floor. Damn it, not again, he yelled out. We both bent down and started picking them up. While stacking the tapes on top of the console, I looked into his eyes and saw the pain that I caused him. I knew I had made a terrible mistake. Mitch, I'm sorry, man. I don't know why I'm tripping. I know I wouldn't be here without you. He didn't say anything at first. He just looked at me with that fatherly expression of disappointment. Then he stood up and spoke to me in a firm tone. You know, Julian, it's not always easy working in the shadow of a celebrity. It takes a man with a lot of confidence to handle having women pass him by to get to the star. But I've had my moment in the spotlight, and I'm secure enough to play my role in this relationship because that's exactly what it is, a relationship. And there's not too many couples who make it 5 years, let alone 15. He paused. What I'm trying to say is, I've always seen your success as my success. My job was to put you in the best position to win. And I take a lot of pride in what I do, and I'm damn good at it. So the next time you even think about putting another person down, remember, no man is an island. We all need help to get to where we want to go. I hear you, Mitch. What can I say? It's another lesson learned. I extended my hand. Still friends? He tried to play stubborn, but Mitch was always a sucker for a genuine apology. Yeah, still friends, he said under his breath. But don't ever disrespect me like that again. Next time, I'll turn up the voltage of your mic and shock your big ass to death. Deal, I said as we shook hands and embraced. Now go home to your wife. I'll pick up the rest of these tapes. Are you sure? The last time you knocked over this rack, it took me a half an hour to put all these tapes in alphabetical order. Yeah, I'm sure. Now get the hell out of here. After Mitch programmed the station for the morning crew, he grabbed his things and left. I sat down on the floor and got comfortable while I put the tapes in order. There was no need to rush. I ain't have any place to go. A few minutes into stacking the tapes, I noticed that a few had fallen underneath the console. I got down on my stomach to reach them. Suddenly, I heard the studio door swing open. I knew it couldn't have been Mitch because I saw his car pull out of the underground parking. As I turned over onto my side, my heart pounded like a drum. Before I could twist completely around to see who it was, I heard a voice. I love the smell of those candles. What is that, jasmine? Terry? You scared the shit out of me. Who did you think I was? Olivia? I paused for a second and went back to stacking the tapes. I see you've been talking to Mitch. How much did he tell you? Everything, even the part about the hickey, which I still find a little hard to believe. She laughed. Then she bent down and joined me on the floor. Can I give you a hand? Terry, I know you didn't come here at 2 o'clock in the morning to help me stack tapes. I was already downstairs in my office catching up on some work. Maybe that's where I wanted to be. It was the excuse I needed to see you. You still haven't told me why you're here, I said with attitude. Don't be like that, Julian. You know I came to tell you I was sorry. Sorry for not listening to your explanation, and most of all, sorry for not trusting you. It took you 4 weeks and a visit from Mitch to finally open up? And what if he didn't come to see you? Would we both be talking right now? Baby, what difference does it make? What's important is that I'm here. I'll tell you what's important. What's important is that I expect you to be more open-minded. Come on, Julian. How did you expect me to react when a man shows up with a big hickey on his neck like a teenager? She said, I was hurt. I was hurt too. My sleep is all messed up. I'm snapping at Mitch every night and my issues with you are starting to affect my show. Yeah, so I heard. Gloria sure broke you down. Terry laughed. For a minute, I thought she was hosting the show. I laughed too, although I didn't show it. I missed the sign of her laugh and her bright smile. And she was looking good too. She had on a tight blouse and a pair of those spandex pants that showed every curve. While she was kneeling down, I couldn't help looking between her legs. Terry was slightly bow-legged and she had a gap that was sexy as hell. I had to hand it to her. She knew how to get a man's undivided attention. So where do we go from here, Mr. Relationship Expert? Terry reached over and grabbed my hand. I really do miss you, you know. I miss you too, baby. But I've got to know that from now on, you're going to trust me to do the right thing. I promise. She stood up and walked towards me. And baby, just so you know, you were always in my thoughts. I just needed time to get my head together. Like I told you, I'm not going anywhere. Not tonight, not tomorrow, not ever. We held one another. I was holding her so tight I could feel her heartbeat. She stroked the back of my head while kissing me gently on the neck. I missed you, Julian. She spoke softly into my ear. God, how I missed you. Then we kissed. We were so into each other, we didn't notice we were crushing the tapes on the floor. This raggedy ass rack is gonna get somebody killed one of these days, I said. Yeah, I know. I knocked it over yesterday while I was in the air. As we continued to pick up the tapes, I sensed that Terry had something she wanted to say. I knew what it was, so I broke the silence. The answer is no. No what? No, I haven't heard from Olivia, I said. I think she's finally got the message. Julian, I deal with these types of obsessive disorders every day. There are cases where patients receive treatment and then years later kill the person that they've been stalking. I'm not trying to scare you, but you need to understand that Olivia could still be dangerous. Thanks for the warning, Doc, I said nonchalantly, but I got this under control. That is the end of chapter 30. Stay tuned.